She put the lime in the coconut, she drank them both up. She put the lime in the coconut and she put the mud up. She put the lime in the coconut, she drank them both up. Both up or both up, man?
I don't know if it's racist either way. I was doing the voice, I think.
Practical Magic 1998, we open with a hanging. Nothing says to me 1998 rom-com like a hanging.
Two sister witches, raised by their eccentric aunts in a small town, face close-minded prejudice and a curse which threatens to prevent them from finding everlasting love.
Right, okay, I'm glad you said rom-com there. How do you class this movie?
What is
This thing is all over the place.
It is all over the place.
It doesn't really have a genre. It's rom-com sometimes. It's flat-out horror other times. It's weird Thelma and Louise domestic abuse movie other times. It's the themes and the tones changes a lot. Then at other times it's like a mad Disney family film.
In some ways that's cool. I kinda like that it's this mismatch of everything, but it's just all over the place and I'm trying to grab at things. Sandy, I want to stay for you and your comedy and your wee shop that you've got. Margot Martindale's there. Oh, who's Jimmy? Why is he burning a ring and punching people or something?
That's what I'm saying. This movie just comes at you with some dark shit out of nowhere.
Let's get in here.
Right, let's get in it. Let's start. It starts with a wee voiceover.
Narrated by Diane Wiest, the great Diane Wiest, and Stockard Channing.
Man, she's great in this.
She's so good in this. They are the best part of this movie.
Rizzo is also great in Grease. We just make fun of her because she's so much older than the rest of them.
Stockard Channing rules and she looks beautiful in this.
Absolutely, 100%. She's playing somebody that's her age, which helps.
And she looks younger than her age.
It's
so
crazy.
It works both ways. We're not just going to rip you for looking old when you're young. If you're old and you look young, we're going to compliment you.
You're looking great. Keep it up.
Open with a hanging, narrated by Diane Wiest and Stockard Channing. They say the Owen sisters have been blamed for everything over the past 200 years in this town. Their ancestor Maria was a witch and it's in their bloodline. Maria liked the men and the wives were on the hanging committee.
That's quite funny.
And she looks at them on, all the guys are like, oh
man, what a night that was.
It's a shame about Maria. All these pilgrims run for the hills because they think Maria's going to use her dark magic, and I would have took these people out. There's not enough of that in this film.
No, it should have been like
Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, totally. It should have just been her just decimating this town. And there's nobody left.
It wouldn't have been marketed as well.
See, this is my problem with the film though. Like, and we spoke about it earlier with the genre. Was it marketed as a horror film or like this rom-com?
Rom-com. Did you listen to the trailer attached to the podcast last week?
Yeah, I did, and it was totally not what the movie is.
I'm a bitch, I'm a lover, I'm a child.
Right, so she was banished to some island.
She was banished, she's pregnant, she waited for her lover to rescue her, but no one came.
Not back. She wrote him a letter being like, I'm pregnant. He's like, oh, I'm out.
I can't read, sorry.
He just wrote back an X, sent it back.
Void. She cast a spell upon herself so that she would never feel the agony of love, and as her bitterness grew, it turned to a curse against any man who loved an Owens woman. When the Owens women hear the sound of the Death Watch beetle, the man they love are doomed to die. That's a sentence that I just said.
That's fucking mental, by the way.
What is this beetle business?
This is the start of your family movie that's marketed as, and it's just like, every man you ever love is going to die a horrible death. They don't even die in their sleep. They all get killed in some horrible way.
At this point, we see that the sister's parents die because of the curse.
Yeah.
The father, we hear because of the beetle, and the mother of a broken heart. The sisters go to live with their aunts, enter the total magic of this movie. Stockard Channing, Diane Wiest. Stockard Channing as Frances says, in this house we have chocolate cake for breakfast and we never worry about bedtimes or brushing our teeth. And I'm like, hey, my house is bugging. I'm phoning the social.
Oh man, the social needs to get a grip of these two women,
They're
man.
fucking witches.
They're witches, they're doing curses all over the place. These kids are not safe.
They're judgmental against everybody else.
they're a horrible pair of women, to be honest. Like, watching this movie as a kid, I see that they're like the fun aunts and they're cool and they kind of but do you know what? See, watching it as a parent,
they're no responsible.
they're not responsible.
Mind when you were like, you would go to your pal's house and that parent let them do everything. Monty, you can smoke weed in here, you can drink, it's all good, man.
I mean,
and you were
this is
like,
the best.
that is the best parent in the world. You go to 22 and you thought, oh fuck, I hope
they
that
were
person's
abused,
alright.
man. That's fucked up.
Mental, man. I'm going to give my parents a call, tell them I love them.
I need to phone my mum. It's fine that you're a bit of a bitch, man, but like, you were sound to me.
I need to phone your mum. Kids throw rocks at these sisters and call them witches. They get gumped.
They get Forrest Gump right in the face. What is it with these movies in the 90s and like throwing rocks at children's faces, man?
We like
I love it.
to do that in the 90s, man.
Happened to me a few times, man.
Rocks?
Aye, threw rocks at me. I'm going to shag your mom. And I was like, oh, please don't.
Cairn stop. They have food outside and the set decor is beautiful. They're all wearing huge hats and there's kittens and this looks amazing and I want to be there. They talk about losing their mother to a broken heart. They go inside to practice spells. We meet... So Gillian is Nicole Kidman. We can tell from the fiery red hair. Can't do any magic yet. Frances says her talents will emerge in time. We get a knock at the door.
Man, they freak out when the door goes. I also freak out when my door goes. Do you do that as well?
I don't answer the door generally unless I know somebody's coming.
Is that a generational thing?
I think that's our generation.
It's like when the phone goes, like, see when you were younger and the phone would go, your mum or dad would just go and answer it and be like, hello. See now, if my phone goes and I don't recognise who it is, I don't answer it.
No. Get the bird. Get the book. A neighbour raps on the door. They perform a love spell and kill this pigeon and it's brutal and we do not talk about the pigeon the rest of this movie.
This would scar these children for life.
These
kids are at the top of the stairs.
They don't
watching
blink about the pigeon.
No, they don't, not at all. This woman has to take a big needle and just stab a pigeon to death with it. And these children, remember they're children, I don't know what age they are, 8 maybe, 7? And they watch this woman kill a pigeon. I would be in therapy for the rest of my life after this, man.
It's a huge pin and like it's a beautiful little pigeon.
And it just gets fucking murdered in front of these wee children. They're just like, oh cool man, witches.
They're mere obsessed with love or whatever. And
why would you be obsessed with love when all through your life you've been told that if you love somebody they're going to die?
I hope we never fall in love, says Sally. Gillian says she can't wait. How often do you think they're just... We are not seeing the real economics of being a witch. They're ripping heads off frogs every night.
Oh, totally, man. There's a lot of shit going on in this house. These two aunties are like doing exorcisms and shit.
I'm surprised they were so freaked with their corpse, because they must have corpses in here all the time.
I bet you they probably get some like deep-seated trauma that isn't in this one. There's a sequel in this movie where they just think about all the fucked up stuff their auntie's done. Jellybean,
Gillian, is running away with some big meathead hunk.
We're sort of given the impression that she's like the wild one. She's kind of like the rebel of the two sisters. Sally's a good two shoes kind of thing. She wants to stay and fall in love and all that shit. Do you know what I mean? And Nicole Kidman just wants to get banged.
Good for her, man.
She's got a better life.
She knows who she is.
I mean, granted, she makes some bad decisions, but at this point, she's just like, I want to go out and live my life. I also have another question. The spell's very specific, and they mention it a couple of times in the movie. The aunties say that every man that you fall in love with will die. What if somebody's a lesbian or falls in love with a woman?
They don't want to hear about that.
Exactly.
I like the spell she did for herself. I like when she, as a little girl, threw the petals up.
Yeah.
That was beautiful, man. Sally doesn't want Jellybean to go. Jellybean says not to worry. They will die all together in a big house. And she says they'll probably even die on the same day. Sally says, you swear? She does a blood pact here.
It's kind of fucking mental. Did you see Forrest Gump? Did you see how Jenny went out?
Man, did you see Philadelphia? Did you see how Forrest went out? Aunts walk with Frances and they're walking through the town, and it's nice, this scene. We get a proper taste of this little town.
Man, Rizzo fucked this guy named Charlie.
Gets a letter from Gillian, who's in Orlando. This is when we get the line from the aunts, and they say hopefully she meets a guy who goes through her.
What is that?
What did that mean?
I was watching this with my wife. As I said, my wife loves this movie and she was watching it with me. And she was doing that thing where she was looking at me sometimes. And she looked at me when this line got read. I went, what is that all about? And she went, I know.
It's sex.
I think it's sex. I think it's sexual.
Stuff.
Why would your auntie be being like, oh, I hope she gets pure plowed, man?
They walk about the town all witchy and talk about the townsfolk. She points out he's having an affair with the babysitter and she can eat a pound cake in under a minute.
That's pretty funny. See, this is where the tone's weird. So we'd just seen these two sisters doing a blood oath, which is a bit weird for a family movie. But then in the next scene, we've got this nice wee scene where they're walking through town, and it's just like, this is like a romantic comedy.
Whenever the sisters are alone, it's dark. Whenever the aunts are about, it's light.
Yeah, it's like there's two different movies going on, and it's been edited together. I think there's a cut of this movie that's like R-rated dark movie, and maybe they've been like told to tone it back by a studio or something, so they've had to tone it back to make it less violent. I don't know.
Based off a book, I'd wager the book was a little more adult for sure. This is directed by Griffin Dunne of American Werewolf in London.
That's right.
That's weird, man.
Yeah.
Kinda ties in with Werewolf Week last week. Sally gets checked out by a very young and hunky Mark Feuerstein. He's looking good in this.
He should have been the guy. It should have been the opposite way about.
Deliver my apples, man.
I thought he was like a fish guy at first, like delivering fish, just because like they live in a seaside town. But later on, you see him with fruit. He's checking Sandra Bullock out, right? And then his auntie sees him checking Sandra Bullock out, and she's a bit like, "Oh, aye, wait a cut of his jib, wait the size of his pants."
Aunt Jet notices this, and she says hi to him in return. It's really cute when she notices that. Sandy Gardens, and I've just wrote, "Oh my god," and they denim.
Man, Sandra Bullock looks incredible in every scene, every frame of this movie.
She hears a bell in this scene and runs toward it. The aunts know what's going on and they love all of this, and she walks with purpose, and it's kinda hot.
Oh man, see how she walked towards me like I'd melt.
When she jumps up on this guy and kisses him so good, man. Did you see that kiss?
Damn right I did.
She jump up in him.
Aye, it kind of cuts to like the future, and they've got this wee happy life. But at this point, I'm like, you've been told your entire life that if you marry somebody and have kids with them, they're going to die. Like that's all she's been told since she was a kid. That this guy's going to die because the aunts, I think, put a spell on her, don't they?
They caused us.
Like she didn't want to fall in love, or maybe she did, but like they just basically caused all unhappiness. It's really fucked up, really, what they done to her. They've basically like forced her via a spell or a potion or whatever to fall in love with some random stranger, knowing full well that this stranger's going to die and make her sad.
It works with the message of the film.
What is the message though? Get used
heart,
to death.
Your heart can be broken and it can be mended and it can be broken again.
But let her find that out for herself. It's really interfering.
Yeah. The sisters narrate to each other over letters they're sending. Kidman is having a great time at this Boogie Nights house as she's real smitten with Jimmy
Angelov.
Angelov.
I think it's because she's Australian.
Was Chris Angel about it this time? This feels like a Chris
must have
Angel thing.
This guy's he's hot in a 90s kind of way. He would have been in like an Aerosmith video. She's pure into him. He comes up behind her and blindfolds her, and I'm getting eyes wide shut vibes.
Sandy's in bed with her family, and we hear that dreaded insect. I want to see the Death Watch beetle. That's mad?
Yeah, it's crazy that they call it. So this is apparently a real thing in like pagan culture or whatever. You don't see the beetle though, but apparently if you hear the croak or what is it a beetle does?
They said it's I wrote down
the noise of the beetle. I don't know. What does a beetle do?
It's they hiss.
The hiss of the beetle. Yeah. We'll call it that.
They describe it as something, and I remember going, "That isn't what a beetle does." Anyway, we see Michael. This is Mark Feuerstein just walking about the town, and I get all excited because I know something's going to smash this guy up, Final Destination style.
It is a pure Final Destination. You're looking for what's going to kill him. Aye, man. Do you know what? As much as we're going to slag some what's in this film, Sandra Bullock's really good here.
She's great.
She is freaking out because she can eat a beetle. She knows what that means.
She's
ripped up all the floorboards looking for this beetle, and she is fucking freaking out, man. She's excellent.
These cyclists appear and
it's hilarious, man.
The cyclists appear in marks in the middle of the road, and if you died like this with cyclists carting these apples, man, that would suck.
That's the most embarrassing death ever.
Imagine
man.
your eulogy. The only worst thing would be if your trousers fell down before the bicyclist hit you.
Aye, that's the only thing. The fact that he was fully clothed is the only thing that saves him. He's pure looking about. You know he's going to die because you can hear this beetle.
He stands in the middle of these cyclists as they go past him, and this poor actor has to be like, whoa, 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 for these cyclists.
And then they all go past him, he doesn't die, and he does this pure, whew, that was a close one.
Pure glad I escaped death today.
While just standing on the road, like, it's like, right, get out the road now.
By the way they blocked this, am I
It
right?
looks
Or
awful.
it didn't he come round a corner or something?
It is right in front of him.
This
This comes at him head on.
This driver, I'm thinking this is a rival fruit merchant that saw Mark on the road and swerved to
He
him.
doesn't slow down either. It's
He
not as if this
speeds
thing
up.
swerves. This thing goes through him, man.
He's going up to get him and then going after the cyclists.
That's another thing, right? I know it's a film, and I'm trying to be fair here, right? How come this road isn't closed if there's some sort of cycling event on? Like, you know, remember in Glasgow, they had the cycling world championships or whatever, and every fucking road in the town was shut down. You couldn't get anywhere near it.
Find out the aunt's arranged this relationship with Michael via a spell. This enraged you earlier.
So fucked up.
She wants to bring him back, reanimate the...
She runs to their house to confront them.
Yeah.
Again, really good acting here. Like,
Yeah.
she's excellent. She's absolutely fucking outraged. She's shouting at him. She's demanding that they bring him back to the dead. She's not even asking, remember? She starts begging him and stuff. It's like really desperate and good.
She's on her knees and it's really sad and they want to, they just can't. This isn't how it works.
Yeah, and said that even if they did bring him back, he won't be him. It was like a dark magic and he won't be the same. She says she doesn't care, she just wants him. She's properly like...
Begging.
Yeah, begging. She's... Again, this is a testament to Sandra Bullock here because this wouldn't work with a less actress. This would be shite.
She moves into the aunt's with the kids, only there will be no cake for breakfast, teeth will be brushed, and there will be no magic.
Do you know what? That's fair. That's a totally fair set of rules.
Reasonable requests.
She's like their mother. She gets to decide that.
Sandy raises her hand in the air as she's in bed, and she's devastated from her loss, and all of this is believable, and it's gut-wrenching, this scene. She's just lying in bed with the cover over her.
Yeah.
She raises her hand, and yeah, from a distance, Nicole feels her scar and they feel connected and it's really nice.
Nicole's in a hotel room or some bed with this guy. They're sitting drinking in bed. She looks rough, man. Like hungover sort of thing, like as if she's done with it. She stands up at one point and he like grabs her. He's like, where are you going? She's like, I'm going to go pee. He's like, I'm going to go with you. Like super like aggressive and like possessive.
Yeah.
It's dark here. It's implied here that he's abusive. We don't see anything at this point, but it's definitely implied that
The
she's not a good-
cinematography is intensely different as well. Back in the town, we're diffused, we've got warm tones, and back with Nicole, it's a sharper, contrasted image.
Yeah.
It's really well done. I really like it.
Yeah. She takes his... Is it beer or tequila? What is this thing that he drinks?
The bottle is all through this.
Aye, so she goes into the bathroom with this guy's drink and she puts drugs. We don't know what it is at this point. We find out later that it's belladonna. Whoa!
Belladonna or Villadonna?
Belladonna.
Is it?
I'm sure that's a thing.
Belladonna is definitely a thing, man.
Oh, she's a thing. Look her up. You'll thank us later.
Gillian rattles up a bathroom spell with a bottle. She drives through the night to her sister in a truly remarkable scene. We go from night to day to day to night. I think that scene's gorgeous.
Is he a vampire?
There is a heavy...
He says something at one point to her about sucking her blood, and he also says that he's been around for a long, long time.
She, describing him later during the intense scene, says he's from just outside Transylvania.
Yeah, that's right. She says that. He's got a name, Angelov, which I think she says it's a Bulgarian name. And then she says something about how he's been around for a long time. It's very much implied, but never ever said that he might be a vampire.
She wakes Sally up by gently running her finger across her temple and nose, and it's so intimate and beautiful. That's real.
I do that to my daughter.
That's
But
lovely.
ironically enough, I do that to make her sleep.
And you'll just sit and do it for ages.
So that in between her eyebrows, just rub there and it will make her fall asleep.
And it's pure.
Yeah, it's nice.
So nice. And this scene was beautiful. Gillian tells Sally about Jimmy, mentions he's intense. She says something about this guy coming from just outside Transylvania.
Against that vampire stuff I mentioned earlier, man, it's weird.
Is he a vampire?
I think he's a vampire.
He's something, isn't he?
She mentions something in that first scene where he's in the bed before she drugs his drink. She says something about how he looks so good, and he says a wee comment about how he's been around for a long time. She then mentions his name and says that it's Bulgarian. He's of Bulgarian descent.
He has this ring.
His ring, which comes into play later in the movie, but it's got a crest on it.
It's a big insignia, and he likes burning it into people, which feels weird. And by the way, I like all that stuff. If he was something and they just somehow met because of some trance or need,
yeah, or even some sort of spell where they're all sort of brought to each other because they're supernatural. I think it's kind of implied, but never really, they don't go fully into it, that he might be a vampire or something. Which would have been cool. That would have been a cool twist in the movie. If, like, these witches had to take on a vampire at the end. It's like, they don't know what to do with the tone of this movie. Is it a family movie? Is it a horror movie? Is it a supernatural movie? Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like if that is the case, then just go all in with it. Make him a vampire. Give him big teeth at the end. Like, make him a fucking vampire. So there's all these sort of kind of wishy-washy.
It feels like they had a really lovely little family film, but big Johnny Paramount came in and said, we need a bad guy.
Yeah, totally. It feels like they had like maybe like a Hocus Pocus type family romp, and they're like, no, we need to darken this up now.
I just saw that Chris Angel in Vegas. He's hot.
He's hot, He's right into all the magic.
Gillian tells Sally about Jimmy, mentions he's intense. She drugs him sometimes with the belladonna to get some shut-eye. They stay up at night worshipping each other. That's where it feels like they're luring each other to a degree. And she's found something as enigmatic as herself, something a bit different. Anyway, she asks in bed, do you forgive her mother? Because what the mum did. It's a good question.
Yeah, totally.
And tells her to get up and brush her goddamn teeth and look after those little girls. That's a great line, and Nicole kills it.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, because as we've not really mentioned, Sandra Bullock, since her husband died, has just been in bed, totally depressed, been lying in bed the entire time. There's a nice scene when her daughter comes in and tries to wake her up and says, you need to take us to school. And she's like, I can't face it, basically.
Pulls her into bed.
She pulls her daughter in for a hug, which is nice.
Man. Kidman watches Sally sleep, and knowingly Sally murmurs, I love you to Jellybean. She must have told her through whatever. Sally wakes up in an empty bed and goes to work. We get some Bran Van 3000 and I'm in the 90s.
This is cool.
She works with Margot Martindale.
What is she doing in this film, man?
She's so great, man.
She is great. This is a botanical store?
Yeah, that's holistic.
Is it you that holistic medicine.
Yeah,
I don't think it was
medicine.
called that at the time. I think it was just like botanical creams and all that sort of stuff.
It's a more
ointments.
expensive Holland and Barrett's.
Oh, 100%. You wouldn't think you would get a more expensive
It's
Holland and
so
Barrett's.
expensive. I don't care about your penny sale. Every other day of the year is so expensive. Just give me the hot dogs.
My God. That fucking nerve of you.
They're
the Holland and
so
Barrett.
good. The aunts try and explain Sally's sort of bitterness to the kids, our relationship with her mum and how that was terrible.
Yeah.
Of course.
Then her kids come. That is Sally's children, who look like a young Sally and Jellybean.
We have a young Evan Rachel Wood.
Yeah, and this scene's pretty sad, man. They just start immediately getting bullied. These kids walk past and start pointing at them, being like, look, it's the witches. You're a witch. You're a witch. Say you were in school, right? And you thought somebody's mum was a witch. You wouldn't slag them. Because they could fuck you up. Like, there was a boy in my school and I knew that his dad was a drug dealer. Do you think I slagged him? Did I fuck? I was smart enough to know that if I slagged him, I was getting my fucking concrete shoes on.
What do you think a witch was going to do?
Don't know, man. Put a spell on me.
Young Evan Rachel Wood points at one of these kids and says, chicken pox.
Yeah, she says, I hope you get, and her mum's trying to shush her. She's like, no, don't say it, don't point, don't say it.
Sandy wants to love again. She wants to be seen. She keeps writing to Jellybean.
The aunts are filling the kids' heads with nonsense. She comes in and the aunts are talking to them about witch stuff, which I'm pretty sure Sally specifically forbade them from doing. And they're fucking interfering again. These characters are terrible. They're
no
constantly just putting their fucking foot where it doesn't belong.
Well, no helping. Gillian calls and Sally runs to her aid, gets her in a seedy porn motel. She looks beat. We find out Jimmy punched her over a really stupid misunderstanding.
As they're coming out of the motel towards the car, Gillian looks up and sees that the moon is red. That's apparently bad. They don't say specifically what that means, but she's freaking out about it. She's like, oh no, what is it? Something bad's going to happen or something like that?
Death looms, I think.
Death looms, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's freaking out. She's looking for a tiger claw necklace. Is that right?
Alright.
She's looking for some necklace. She can't find it. She's left it in Jacob's car. No, it's Jimmy in it. It's not Jacob.
Jimmy.
Aye. She's left it in Jimmy's car, so she goes to look for it. She goes into the car, finds it hanging on the rear view mirror. She pulls it off, and just at that moment, she's pulled by the hair into the back seat by Jimmy, who was he there waiting for her, or is that just a coincidence?
Jimmy kidnaps these broads, man.
Oh, totally, yeah. He has a gun. He pulls Nicole Kidman into the back seat, basically tells them to get in and drive.
He's steaming and smoking the whole time.
Yeah, he's singing. What's the song that he's singing?
You were always on my mind.
That's right. So he's singing that. He's steaming. They go on a drive. They're communicating to each other via magic in the mirror. Like they're sort of telepathically talking to each other. Did you notice this?
Yeah.
They come up with a plan. Again, through is it telepathy?
Gillian says to use the belladonna in her bag to poison Jimmy.
Yeah, so she does. You know what? He burns this ring. He's talking to him. He's all the way. He's heating up this ring with a cigarette lighter or just a lighter.
That'll burn his finger.
I don't know if he's a vampire.
That's true.
He's heating up this ring. He's talking this weird monologue about how he likes this. So I think, and then he tries to fucking brand Nicole Kidman with this ring, which is really fucked up. They sort of fight in the car. It's a bit of a messy scene to describe. They end up sort of fighting. There's a struggle, but in the struggle, Sally grabs the bottle, slips some belladonna in it, and then gives him it back. He's taking a piss at this point, and she's like, did you drug him? And she's like, yes, I drugged him. And he's like, how's he no passed out yet? Did you put enough in? And she's like, I put hundreds in. Obviously she doesn't know the dosage because she's panicking. Turns out she put the whole thing in. He gets back in the car, and then at this point he tries strangling her, man. This is quite brutal. This is no longer a family film.
It's shocking.
It's pretty violent.
It's brutal to see.
He's choking her. Her face is turning like red and purple. Sandra Bullock's like behind him, trying to hit him and pull him off. And then he suddenly collapses. And we think he's passed out or something, but they check on him and he's in fact died.
He's pure dead.
Aye, he's dead as fuck.
He's pure dead about her, man. They drive this corpse back home and weigh up the consequences. They settle on the resurrection spell. I laugh when they're just dragging this corpse through the garden.
It's pretty funny. There's a dark comedy that could have been done here.
Give me Sandy and Nicole getting rid of a drug dealer ex's boyfriend. That's a good movie.
Give me a sort of Weekend at Bernie's sort of thing where it's just like these two trying to like lie and pretend to, do you know what I mean?
If you sellotape a corpse to Sandy and Nicole Kidman and they need to kid on this thing's alive,
That's hilarious.
I'll give you everything I've got.
That is a genius movie.
And then Weekend at Bernie's 2, they're doing it again but in the Caribbean. I'd watch it.
You would watch it, it'd be a much better film.
Have you seen Weekend at Bernie's 2?
Not the second one, no, I've seen the first one.
Weekend at Bernie's double bill next summer, we're doing it. Eedjits Features, we're doing it.
Okay, it's in the bag, in the schedule.
Kidman slaps this dead guy.
It's really funny.
It's funny.
They're
Sally
basically
walks
they lay
in
him
and
on a
goes, "What you
table.
doing?"
Aye, they lay him exactly. They lay him on a table, and she goes away for 2 minutes to look up some ingredients for this potion. She comes back and she's pure slapping him. She's like, "What the fuck you doing?"
Stop defiling a corpse.
This all works for me. This scene's really great.
She is so funny here.
That's what I'm saying. It should be comedy.
When she's preparing Jimmy for the surgery, Nicole Kidman's like, right, I'm going to help you at this jam and then I'm breaking up with you, I promise.
It's really funny, man. Like, the dark humour works for me.
It's great.
I wish the movie was more like this.
Totally.
Again, the whole movie, we should have had maybe 10 minutes, 20 minutes of setup. Then he dies.
Make it a sex comedy with witches if you're
Yeah.
going to. That would be so funny with they two.
Yeah, like, they grew up together. She went to have a life. She gets involved with the wrong guy. He tries to kill her. She accidentally kills him. And our loving sister has to help her get rid of the body. They just so happen to be witches. And the rest of the movie is just them trying to get rid of the body and comedy ensues. Do you know what I mean? Like,
They revive this thing and use whipped cream for the pentagram.
it's really funny, man.
That's so good.
There was an amazing bit where she puts the pentagram on her whipped cream and she tastes a wee bit on her finger, Sandra Bullock, as she's saying the spell. Hilarious comedy, man. She is great in this.
I really like when he opens his eyes.
And Sandra freaks out. She's like, "Ah!"
As would I. They are
It's so great.
grey and empty, and he is this handsome actor is a real Frankenstein sort of Javier Bardem jawline.
Yeah,
So he looks real good when he's done up like this.
absolutely. So basically, they do the thing. They have to put needles through his eyes, and they're freaking out about it. They do a pentagram. They do the incantation or whatever. He comes back to life and immediately starts choking Nicole Kidman again, which is hilarious.
He pure loves it even in death. He just pure loves strangling bitches, man.
That's like he does. And then enough to kill him again. Again, this is hilarious.
See, when he went to St. Peter to maybe get into heaven, man, he just started choking the bitch.
St. Peter's like, right, you're going down to hell,
Get
man.
back, you
Get the fuck.
you cheeky monkey.
What's it like? The
Say that
choker.
again.
What's it like?
His eyes open, it's creepy. He wakes up and continues strangling Kidman whilst doing a Borat impression. Be my wife! Did you notice that?
Aye.
Be my wife.
Sandra Bullock picks up the biggest pot frying pan you've ever seen, just smacks him with the head and kills him again.
They kill it, bury the body, and agree not to tell the ants. This thing got dark.
It got really dark. Again, I'm liking this bit. This is the best bit of the movie so far for me.
The kids and aunts greet Gillian and are real glad she's home. Yvonne Rachel Wood looks eerily out at a window. She knows there's something off about this burial site area.
Yeah, they bury him in the rain. The next day, the girl can see him. You said that, didn't you? Through
It's
the window.
creepy. That kind of works. Again, from another movie.
But you only see it from the kid's point of view. It's a sort of like Sixth Sense type thing where the kid can see dead people but nobody else can.
Don't see that she can see him yet. All that stuff works. All of that's
there's
amazing.
a creepy, like, this is where there's a little bit of a horror movie actually happening here.
Gillian works with Sally and just uses her products on her feet. I don't care if you're Nicole Kidman, I don't want to see your feet. Sally gets called to a parents' meeting where they have to be responsible for announcements called the phone tree. It means you're responsible for reaching out to the other parents. Is that right?
I have no idea. What I've gathered from it is there's a chart, and if something happens in the town, like a big announcement, one person's responsible for phoning the next person, and then
Like
they
a-
phone somebody.
Like a weather incident or anything like that.
Why is there not just like a local radio station or something that can do this? Why do they all need to phone each other? It's really quite...
Sandy had already been in the net. She knows about this. She should have challenged the script. Sally gets called to this parents' meeting where they have to be responsible for announcements and such. Kidman interrupts this meeting and
She's
is
fantastic.
so funny. She announces to all the ladies in the group, watch out for your husbands, and does this little hip thrust and goes...
Yeah, she thrusts herself basically in a pure sexual way. It's like the Elvis thrust.
She does like the swing thing.
Yeah, it's
pure
basically that.
Good, man.
Because they're all talking about her, like, all these women are pure bitches, man. They're pure Facebook mums, aren't they? There's a hellacious WhatsApp group that these women are in.
That wee one with the dark hair's getting on the internet and going, that witch showed up at that meeting and Sandra beside us lighting it.
Aye. And they've all got other WhatsApp groups or other WeChats about the other ones.
And there'll
Wee
be the
side
witch
groups.
emoji.
Oh, aye, and
The restrict logo beside it.
100%.
Any witches group.
And like they've got pure like racist views as well on Facebook and that. They're like, that Trump speaks his mind.
Oh, MAGA for sure.
Oh, this is a horrible group of women, man. They're coming up with this this tree who needs to be at the top of the tree, basically who's the leader of this group. And Nicole Kidman does a wee bit of magic here, and she puts Sally's name at the top of the tree, because her name's never been on it before, because she's a witch and they all hate her. They always keep her down at the bottom. But Nicole Kidman does a wee bit of magic here, puts her at the top. She is so good in this scene because they're all talking about her. Remember, they're whispering, I hear she's blah blah blah, and she's just owning it.
She put the lime in the coconut, she drank them both up. She put the lime in the coconut and she put the mud up. She put the lime in the coconut, she drank them both up. Both up or both up, man?
I don't know if it's racist either way. I was doing the voice, I think.
They're doing midnight margaritas! And both sisters turn to each other in bed and say midnight margaritas.
As if it's a tradition thing, that's great. They all go downstairs and they get fucking steaming.
They are wrecked.
This looks like a lot of fun, but that hangover the next day, man, must have been brutal.
They all dance like, fucking I feel sorry for the Waynes just trying to sleep for school.
Aye. They're dancing around the table, they've all got margaritas in their hands, they're singing Lime in the Coconut, of course.
They drink and do minimal magic. Kidman reads Sandy's palm. This scene gets chaotic. These witches are wrecked and the whole town should be worried if they decide to go on a bender through the town and just start blasting pub doors open.
Man, that would have been great. See if this turned into a pub crawl and they're just going around pubs being like, get us a short barkeep, and they're just all drinking them.
But doing magic fucking everywhere and spewing acid everywhere or whatever.
That would have been so cool.
The ants are steaming and sing Always on My Mind.
Aye.
Jimmy sang this earlier.
Yep.
Jimmy sang this earlier.
And then they see this bottle again. The bottle that he drank from to get poisoned for some reason has appeared. It's never really explained why. Nicole Kidman starts freaking out. She picks up the bottle, she throws it in the sink and smashes it.
Yeah.
But before this, there's this really weird scene where they're all sitting around the table having shots. And then they start just flat out getting really mean to each other. But they're saying stuff to each other, but it's like really harsh and honest.
Kidman calls the ants hags and stuff. It's really brutal.
Like they're all laughing, but they're saying progressively worse things to each other, and I'm like, is this a spell? Like, are they drinking it and it's just like you need, every time you take a shot, you need to say something brutally honest, because each time they say something, they all cover their mouth as if, oh my god, I can't believe I just said that.
I think it's telegraphing drunk into it, sort of thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. Again, with this movie, it doesn't tell you if there's actual magic going on it sometimes, or if it's just... It's unclear, is what I'm saying. But anyway,
I find it vague with the magic and how much everybody knows about them as well. The movie tells you immediately they're witches, everybody knows about it and it's cool, but we don't always get that impression.
Yeah.
The cop certainly doesn't seem to know that they're witches yet. Everybody in the town, it's weird. The ants ask what's going on, and then they leave in the night because they know what's happened.
Yeah, basically they ask them what's going on here, you two are suspicious, something's going on, and they just stay silent, they don't tell the ants that there's a body in the front garden. I've got a feeling if they did tell them a body, they would be fine with it. I've got a feeling there's more than one body already in that garden for the past.
I would rather they did so that they stayed in the movie, because it kind of loses itself once the ants go.
So they basically decide to leave. They get this hangman's rope from the witch at the start with the ancestor who was hung.
Maria.
Yeah, and they say this will protect the children while we're away. And it doesn't explain how.
The next morning, Sandy's kid plays Lime in the Coconut on a kazoo. Sandy's hungover, asks for the kazoo for a second, and then throws it away.
Loved this scene, that is hilarious. I have literally done that. My ways are doing something annoying. I'm like, can I see that for a second, Anna? And then she hands me it and I just throw it away and I'm like, that's so annoying.
Yvonne Rachel Wood sees the spooky ghost of Jimmy. No one else can see him. This is a really cool scene from an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Definitely.
This whole bit with the creepy ex whose body was buried in the garden, but now there's a rose bush in the garden.
Yep.
That's cool.
It's grew overnight.
That's very cool.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Blood red roses. All of this is great.
Yep.
The kids tell them the ants left and they're to clean up their own mess. A full rose bush has grown over Jimmy's grave and his boots are sticking out the ground. That looks a bit stupid.
Do you know what it looks like? It looks like, see the shoes from Wizard of Oz?
Looks a bit like Wizard of Oz.
Is that what you're saying, Wizard of Oz? Your voice went really low. Aye, it looks like the red slippers.
His toes just need to curl.
Aye, it's a bit shite looking. It doesn't look great.
Sandy whacks away at this bush and I wish I could return the favour. Can I tell you how it's 1998?
How?
Aidan Quinn's in a film that went to the cinemas.
Man, I can't believe this, man.
The last I heard of Aidan Quinn, he was a cop in that Elementary. You know that Sherlock with Lucy Liu and Johnny Lee Miller?
Aye.
Fucking 8 seasons of that or whatever.
8 seasons?
I'm sure it went.
Is that still kicking the ball?
Loads, man. No. It was just a while ago though. It went 6, 7 or 8. It went no bad. I'm sure it did.
If it made it past 2, then it's a success. Good on them.
Yeah,
Good
quite
on
right.
Lucy Liu getting work
I
still.
like Lucy Liu.
She's
I like
great.
Johnny Lee Miller. I like Aidan Quinn. We make fun of. I've nothing against Aidan Quinn. I just wouldn't have picked him
He's
first.
not a movie star.
He's not a movie
He's
star.
a generic white guy. He's perfectly fine.
He's
not-
perfect for Elementary.
That's his level. He's not opposite Sandra Bullock.
He's not gone to the Guy Ritchie Sherlock auditions.
Oh no! He'll get Elementary on TV.
Jude Law was sitting there that day. I mean,
imagine sitting in a waiting room and fucking Robert Downey Jr. sitting beside you. He wouldn't even get in. He would just be like, "Alright, I'm away."
Robert Downey Jr. would think he's there to take his order. Big Aidan Quinn shows up. This is Gary. He says he's a cop. Sandy runs up and tells Gillian. Gillian asks if he's hot. She says yes in a penile kind of way.
No, he isn't. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be mean. I can't be mean about anybody's look. I'm not a good looking man, right? But
That's ridiculous.
this guy, hot isn't the word.
He's got nice.
Perfectly fine.
He's that 90s.
He's so generic. This guy would be one of Monica's boyfriends.
Oh, definitely.
But he's only in one episode though, and then she dumps him or he dumps her.
I could
Joey
even.
and Charmer make fun of him.
I could see him being the one that Phoebe gets with and he doesn't understand her wacky ways.
She does something weird to him during the massage, and he's like, "No, I can't handle you," and he leaves.
And she plays Smelly Cat.
Yeah.
And the episode ends or whatever with that programme. Big Aidan Quinn, he has this letter that she wrote to Gillian. He tells her that he doesn't want to beat around the bush, and I disagree. This cop's looking for Jimmy. She says he hit her and she hasn't seen him since. This is 3 days ago. He recognises Jimmy's car that's parked outside.
Man, Sally is a terrible liar.
She's a terrible witch.
She's a terrible witch, terrible liar.
She can feel her own sister for across the globe, but she can't fucking get rid of a motor, man.
I don't know, like you would know. You don't even need to be a good witch. Just anybody that's committed any crime would know, like.
She's beside a big body of water. It's right there. Dump it.
I know. Do a cycle, find a swamp and put it in a swamp.
Sandy says they took it after he kidnapped them, and Sandy does her magic here and acts all daft, but she's lovely. He just starts wiping this woman's wound at this point with a tissue. She's got this little scratch on her collarbone. He met her 5 minutes ago and he's
already
touching
touched
her
her collarbone. I'd be like, fuck off.
Please don't
detective.
touch me,
Yeah.
sir. Thank you.
But again, it's her dream man, apparently.
He just starts wiping this woman's wound. Yep, Phoebe Stone was murdered 2 years ago, he tells us. Strangled and burned with an insignia.
Yep. So he's branded and killed another woman, so he's a strangler.
Jimmy's a possible serial killer.
That's a much more interesting movie.
It's way more interesting.
Imagine he was a serial killer and...
These two witches had to stop him.
Not even that. Imagine he was a serial killer, vampire, who hunted down witches. It was like a witch hunter.
And strangles the witches?
Yeah, he specifically targets witches.
Maybe his mum was a witch.
Oh, and she
This has
cursed him.
got layers.
Do you know what I mean? But again, they don't go with this. They
Can
go
his name still be Jimmy in it?
I suppose.
Thanks. The cop investigates around town. This is kind of a really funny montage.
I really like this scene. It's
I
hilarious.
laughed
There's
when
this
this...
wee woman is she in a wheelchair or is she just sitting down on a bench? I can't remember. She's
She's-
like, they sell placenta. That's a placenta store.
She's like saying they sell placenta bars or something, and it's so funny. And she's like acknowledging them but turning round at the same time. It's such a natural gossip
Yes, it's
performance.
great. He speaks to this kid. Did you notice the kid's got chicken pox?
That he's even got a massive ice lolly to cure his throat, which
Yeah.
is a great touch. I had chicken pox. I had them all down my throat. I had them everywhere you don't want to imagine. It
What
was-
age were you when you get chicken pox?
I was 14, man.
I was similar. I was about 13. And
Did
it was
they cover
horrible.
your entire body.
Yeah.
It's awful.
Yeah.
I've still got a
everywhere.
scar, man.
I've got seeing the scar. It's right there, but you can't see because it's dark.
Chicken pox.
Yeah, that scar that I've got right in my forehead, like right there, is a chicken pox that I picked, and it's got a big. I've now got a big
You
dent. in my head.
can't pick your chicken pox. Isn't he just rumours?
Please don't. You will get scarred for this.
Can we
Like, it's
advocate that maybe?
we should start a cause.
Eedjit features promote non-picking of
Chicken pox awareness.
and we're all for chamomile. If maybe take a bath
I
with
would have
chamomile.
took a bath in that stuff. I've had enough in the jar.
Remember when chicken pox? I remember when Cartman had chicken pox and he runs baths with it, man.
Oh, it's like the best.
That's not chicken peppy. This cop hears about this cuss and he's like, aye, right, man, what you talking about, you He's in our shop and
He has got the audacity, the cheek to ask her out on a date.
he is not, this is not professional.
Not one single
whatsoever.
bit. See, even if he's just like, look, I'm going to come and ask you more questions tomorrow, that's fine. But he's like, oh, I'll come round tomorrow about 10 o'clock for breakfast. It's a date. I'll be like, excuse me, detective, what's your fucking badge number?
It's weird. He's in our shop and this guy brings back a product that he says isn't working. He's been putting it on his head, but Sally says he should be putting it on his wang.
Is that the joke?
Yeah.
I didn't get this. He comes in, he says, this isn't working. She's like, where are you putting it? He's like, on my head. And he looks at him as if, like, you shouldn't have been putting
It
it
would
there.
be funny if you knew what the product was.
That's
if,
why I don't think I got the
if
joke.
it was a growing product,
Yeah.
maybe he comes in with long hair. The joke
That would
is
have been funny, that's
he
better.
wanted his penis to grow.
Yeah, he's
larger.
like, my hair's grew in. And she's like, have you been putting it on your head? He's
But
like, yes.
It's comically long.
Yeah,
You know,
it's like yeah. But no, this joke didn't. It fell flat for me.
the cop's watching this. He buys shampoo and moans about it. He mumbles walking out the shop. This town is weird. I laughed at that. He pure fancies her immediately and it's unprofessional, but I get it, man. She is a good witch though, man. Like, there's no green skin, barely any boils. You can make this work.
Oh, you can make it work, guy. She's not allergic to water.
I think even if Sandy and Nicole was green, I could figure it out, man. Even if there was a boil or two, I could probably
depends
figure
what
it
it
out.
is.
It's fine.
If it's avoidable, you can get around it. Aye.
Kidman's doing a banishing spell with the Waynes. Evan Rachel Wood finds Sally's spell book from when she was a kid.
She's good with these wins. Nicole Kidman and these wins have got good chemistry.
Yeah.
She's like the fun aunt that the actual ants in the movie are supposed to be them.
Jillian's a more fun character.
Totally.
I
She
love
is.
Kidman in this.
I like the fact that they're making this potion for this guy and she's wearing these sunglasses indoors.
Yeah, she looks cool.
She looks cool, but she also looks a bit mental.
Hungover.
Yeah,
So
she's
it's a
hungover
cool wee
as fuck.
touch.
It's really
Yeah.
funny.
The Evan Rachel Wood asks if the spell was about her daddy. That got me a bit. That was sad a bit, man. The way she delivers it, and poor Michael, man, he's just an afterthought at this point, man. They're still cleaning with the grill of that van, man. Bits of Michael and Apple, and Kidman tries to use this metaphor about love to these like 7-year-olds, and I find it inappropriate, to be honest.
She basically says if you're spinning around, you need to watch who's around you. You might be having fun, but there's other people around that could get hurt. It's just like the 7-year-old. Man.
That's too deep. Go watch Dexter's Laboratory.
Exactly.
I'll do
Go
this
sit
and
down.
come through in ease in a minute.
And she basically tells him never to fall in love.
The cop shows up for breakfast with a question or two. They go into the herb garden, talk about belladonna.
This is where I noticed that he's got different coloured eyes. Like at this part in the movie, like the lighting here.
It's subtle though.
Yeah, they don't. It's not like pointed out, and I don't even think Sandra Bullock at this point notices it. But I notice it, and I wrote here. This is my notes. This cop has 2 different coloured eyes. Is he supposed to be her perfect man? Question mark.
I'd love it if you were pure like you didn't click on, man.
Is he supposed to be her her perfect man? Question mark. No danger. He helps make pancakes. Why is he getting all cosy with his family? Get a grip.
FYI, he is here to investigate a murder.
And he's talking to the 2 main suspects of that murder, and he's having breakfast with her Waynes.
He talks about them being witches. She says, come at Halloween, we all jump off our roofs and fly and kill our husbands. That comes back later and
Yeah.
it's very funny. It's cool when it happens. He asks what this whole witch madness is about, and she says she likes to make shampoo, but the ants like to meddle. She, at this point, notices his badge. What shape's that in, Rido?
Well, it's a star. It's a detective badge, but
Just like a spell? From the start. His favourite shape is to be a star. He has 2 different coloured eyes. Man, see if I was one of them though, I would just do the exorcist spell and spin his neck around 360. Bury him in the garden and grow a new rose bush, man. This is
or
going
that
mad.
lake that's... Do you know what to do? Kill him. Put him in the back of Jimmy's car. Ditch the car in the water. And then if they find the car, it'll look as if Jimmy killed him.
Murder-suicide or something.
Perfect.
He takes his jacket off to help cook cactus pancakes with the kids.
Yeah, they're shaped like cactuses because he's from Tucson, Arizona. Is that how they make pancakes in that part of the world?
That
I
doesn't
don't
mean
know.
I need to make a thistle pancake.
A pancake, just make a circle pancake as long as it tastes nice, nobody cares. Stop showing off, you big detective dick.
He's giving you less pancake. You want a
Much
big
less.
circle.
Exactly, you want the most mass possible. A cactus is shite. It
Pancakes,
looks cool, but
just circle. Don't give it any other shape. He takes his jacket off to cook. He puts out breakfast for this family, and this plate of bacon is mental. Did you see that plate of bacon?
no,
It's that
I didn't even acknowledge it was
always in a
bacon here.
movie plate of bacon where it's this plate and it's like 50,000
these
rashers.
Big stacks, these big ridiculous stacks that you would get in like a diner or something.
He puts out breakfast for this family. This plate of bacon's insane. How do they cook that much bacon? My God, man.
Really hung up about this bacon.
Sandy, I did the bacon emoji as well. Sandy puts a bib on this cop, and I would be like, "Madam, I am a law enforcement officer."
No, fuck the law enforcement, madam. I'm a grown man. If she had a bobby, man, I wouldn't even care, man. You're like,
Man, you with that. If Sandy had a 12-inch walloper, she could slap me in the face with it and I'd say, "Thanks, give me more." Please, sir, could I have some more? Nicole's there with a 14-inch, man. Oh, anticipating that, Nicole. As long as you've got that wee nose and that. Oh,
I need to work my way up to it.
Oh, man. Okay, so Rizzo passes some of that grease.
Is she there?
She's just got pockets full of grease. At first she did it as a wee joke because she was in it, and then it just became convenient because of her lifestyle.
You never know where you're going to eat some gas.
See if there's a situation she needs to go up.
She just get pocket grease. Just throws it on the flare and slides it any awkward conversation.
Oh no, that's got Nicky.
Karen sliding him at the You can't see this, but he's sliding him at his wooden floor. Oh fuck, that was funny.
Pocket grease as well, by the way, might be on a
Pocket
t-shirt.
grease is hilarious.
Oh, so this syrup. So we find out Nicole Kidman brings out this syrup. We know this is what she's been diddling with in that kitchen. The kids steal this poisoned cup of syrup.
Yeah, the kids decide that they like this guy now, so they steal the syrup and throw it in the water because they don't want him being drugged anymore.
Sandy thinks this is hilarious.
I would be like, you just threw out one of my good cups.
Avro,
That's some fine china.
Sandy thinks this is hilarious, but the pancakes are getting cold and that man has no syrup. I don't know why I think that's so funny. I think he's going to start shooting. Imagine he pulled the gun.
He's just a pure unhinged cop.
Put the syrup back on the table.
You go back into that water and you swim for that syrup.
He throws the wee one in to get it.
You have to kill him and bury him.
There's a weird bubble.
Right, she can't swim. Older sister, your turn, go save her.
Throws her in an oar. And then the ants. A frog ribbits and Gary finds the creepy burnt ring. What is this with the frogs? Did the frog eat this guy's ring? What's going on?
I don't know what the deal is with the frogs. There's a couple of frog scenes in this movie. I don't understand any of them. And the guy is like, freaking out, and Sandra Bullock says something like, "Oh, we trained him to do that" or something, and then he rightfully is immediately suspicious, like, "Used to, or do something, go find yourself a lawyer."
He's a good cop. At this point, he's like, lawyer up. And then he says, what was in that syrup?
That's right, yeah, he knows.
He's not a big dafty. He knows it's weird that they took the syrup that was
He's
given.
very unprofessional, but at least he
gets results.
Well,
no, he doesn't. He
doesn't actually.
He's really bad at his job, actually.
He's a terrible cop.
He's not a good police officer, no.
All things considered, really bad at his job, as we'll find out later. Anyway, he walks away.
The sisters fight.
Yeah, the sisters fight in the kitchen. They basically argue.
They talk resentments and witchiness. Gillian is raging. Sally doesn't embrace the witch. Sally wants to go to the cops. She storms out and catches up with him.
Yep, she catches up with him just outside his hotel room. He basically invites her in. His hotel room's a mess. He says,
"This is a classic cop room.
This is a cop stakeout room.
Photos all over the bed, not organised at all."
Yeah, totally. Like, all we needed is a couple of empty bottles of whiskey in this thing and some takeout food, and you would have had the perfect cop room.
That would have been eye-opening for Gary, wouldn't it? Imagine like 7 bottles of strong bourbon and he's just consumed with this witch case. He keeps asking if they killed Jimmy. She said Jimmy has been punished. He tells her to get a lawyer's advice. It gets tense and he kisses her.
Unprofessional to the max.
You're involved in this?
Main suspect. You can no longer prosecute this woman.
You might get some time.
Nah, because you're at this point you're a better. You're romantically involved with her. This murderer. You should be going to jail.
She notices his eyes.
And she freaks out. Man, I've wrote here, sorry, they kiss. Sorry man, I don't let this guy go. I've wrote, he advises her to get a lawyer again. They kiss. No offence to this guy, but she's way hotter than him. She notices his eyes and leaves.
That's it. That's
pretty much what happens. Eh?
Did you write this?
Aye. She goes home, Sandra Bullock goes home, and our girls run downstairs and they're crying hysterically. They're freaking out because there's something wrong with Aunt Jilly. So she runs upstairs. Nicole Kidman's lying in a bed and she's freaking out. She's possessed. She's like,
this scene is
mental.
This goes off the chains, man.
Yeah, this is where the movie crosses into like, this is like an episode of Charmed, this bit here.
He is sort of resurrected as a spirit through Nicole Kidman, and he looks like Samara's dad. He looks like he's been doing that well with Samara. He's even got the green David Fincher tint.
I don't understand. Like, wouldn't it make more sense if he just like a zombie came out of the ground?
Why did he possess her?
And had he possessed her the entire time? Let's see if she was showing signs throughout the movie of like, oh, I've got a headache, or like, I'm really craving a drink, or do you mean like some of his traits as if she, but it's just like, it doesn't make any sense.
Spell or did he just?
It doesn't make sense. She's just lying on the bed, she's freaking out, then he like sits up on the bed out of her, and this CGI is gross.
He's good. The actor doing the
no, it's not his
Jimmy's
fault. It just
good.
looks terrible.
It's just it's
again
not.
they've used all their budget on the 2 main actresses and they've got no money left for this.
And the soundtrack, which is watching by the way.
The soundtrack's appalling. We'll get to that.
This cop, Gary, uses his badge to get rid of
He
the
doesn't use
spirit.
it. So basically, Gary walks in, pulls out his gun. Him and Jimmy circle each other. Jimmy suggests that he knows him from somewhere. He says like, seeing you makes me feel like I'm back at home. So I'm like, they've got history, this detective and this Jimmy guy. Sally goes over to the bed to check on her sister. While she's doing this, Jimmy reaches his hand in to Gary's heart, like as if he's trying to pull his heart out of his chest. But then he pulls his hand away, his hand's all burnt. It's burnt in the shape of a star. And then the badge falls out because he's obviously, when he went to grab him by the heart, he's touched his badge.
And the silver must have.
Is he a vampire? No, but that's werewolves, isn't it? Silver.
I think the badge is a representation of good, and that's what burnt him. Or was it the silver?
Clear. Or is it because of the shape of it's kind of like the shape of a pentagram? Like a pentagram's like a star, isn't it? And this badge is shaped like a star. Is it the?
I think Griffin Dunne was asked all these questions and he replied, yes. It's all of these things.
You're right. It's silver. It's a representation of good because he's a cop.
Yes.
And it's a pentagram. Yeah, whatever. Take your pick. Don't worry, we won't explain it. Jimmy goes over to the cop again. He picks up his badge and shows him it. He sees his own reflection in it. Again, that's enough. He sees his own reflection and then he just
What is
disappears.
all of this? What is this?
Ah, fucking clusterfuck. This is an episode of Charmed. This is how they banish demons in Charmed.
It is a total Charmed Buffy villain.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It's just like in a big Hollywood movie, you're expecting a bit better.
This cop has had a life-changing experience and we see it, man.
Man, he should have been out to that water, put a gun to his head and just pulled the trigger and fell into the water, man.
Man, he knows what's there between the line and myth and reality.
His whole world's been turned upside down now.
He stared at madness in the face and he didn't like what he seen. Aidan Quinn isn't capable of that.
Man, imagine him trying to deliver a monologue like that.
Oh, Jink Elementary gave him anything like that.
I don't think they gave him much.
Oh, Lucy Liu, this is difficult or whatever. calling her Lucy Liu. Even though her name's...
Cut! Like, one more time, mate. You can't
It's
call her Lucy.
Watson. He tells Sandy that he read her letter 1,000 times and that's what brought him here.
He is not a good boss.
He shouldn't tell his superiors that.
He basically isn't here because of the murder. He's here because he's obsessed with this woman whose private mail he intercepted and read it 1,000 times. A letter to her sister.
I love this scene that happens next.
Why?
This is beautiful, man. So
I'm boking all over the place in this scene.
Sandy tells Gary that she kind of brought him here. When young Sally did the spell, she raised a bowl of petals to the air and petals flew up into the sky.
Yep.
What we see is the spell from Gary's perspective, and we see that everything that she cast and wished for, the petals fell down from the sky where we presume is Texas. Yeah. And it falls to a little boy who's riding a horse. That is so beautiful, man. That is insane, man. And honestly, I like that a lot.
That detail's fine, but then she says, "You're here because I wished for you," and he basically walks away and says, "I wish for you too," or something like that. And I'm like, oh, fuck off.
Kidman tries to get off with her sister.
I'm loving it.
Man.
So after the detective fucks off, Sarah goes back into the room. Nicole Kidman gives her a big hug. They think it's all over. And then she starts licking her in the face and turns out she's still possessed. Oh, twist. Kidman fucking kills another person in this movie. She knocks her out with a frying pan again, doesn't she?
Did you think we were going to get an exorcism scene in Practical Magic 1998?
No.
This is crazy, you.
So the aunties come back at this point and they're like, how do we... And she says to them, like, how do we get rid of them? They're like, we're going to need... They don't say the word exorcism, they say ritual, but this is a flat-out exorcism.
Oh, they'd call it a sweep or something like that. Sally starts the phone tree and tells everyone she's a witch. This is extremely funny. Because she's admitting she's a witch, everyone treats it as though she's coming out. That's really good.
Weird. Somebody actually says she's finally come out as if like...
That's cool, man.
Yeah,
I
she's
like
a
that.
closeted witch.
That's that 90s thing, innit? Like,
You can make a wee joke like that and it's not that offensive.
They do a witchy preparation montage.
All these women are buzzing to be involved with this. Even though they hate these witches, they're all like bringing their brooms.
All the neighbourhood females come for a
This
visit.
hellish WhatsApp group have assembled.
They wouldn't have went to that house. They would not.
They would have phoned the police immediately and be like, they killed that there guy.
Immediately.
The police would have been there. All the women and the aunties and the children would probably have been arrested.
I would have phoned in a hit squad years ago, man.
100%. Off the books number, just get rid of these fucking witches.
Full hang, man. Full hang. Loads of frogs about. All the neighbours show up. They would never come to this house.
Sabrina, the teenage witches teacher, is here.
Yeah.
Is it Miss Tilly? Is that her name? The nervous wee teacher for Sabrina. She's in it. She must be sick of witches, man.
Great character actor. Always plays the nervous Nelly. Margot Martindale's in this kitchen and I just want to hear about her day. I could be in this kitchen with Margot Martindale just listening to her. She'd call me hun, call me sweetie.
She's too good an actress for like this film.
She's so great. Did you see her season of Justified?
No, I never watched Justified.
Man, Justified rules, man.
Didn't watch Deadwood either.
Justified's less dry. It's just a badass man, and he's taking on like moonshiners and stuff. It's amazing.
Do you know what it is? I hear it's good. Don't have time for Timmy Phil.
What? Good as
No, he's a good actor.
He's a great actor.
Seems like a bit of a dick.
He's confident in all that.
Do you know what it is? I've heard stories about him being a bit of a dick.
Aye, the Kevin Smith story sucks, man.
Oh, that story's mental.
Well, it comes across as great acting, Kevin and stuff. He's like, that's horrible.
Yeah, really
bit.
condescending. Aye.
I think if Dane Films is like that.
Aye, maybe.
These neighbourhood people are here to do an exorcism in this movie's madness. Here, I've never really had you in my house before. Gonna help me exorcise my sister.
Never in a million years. Like, see if somebody phoned me that I didn't know that well and was just like, look, I need your help. We need to perform an exorcism. I'm like, oh, is that right? Hang up the phone, lock all the doors, stay away from these fucking witches.
They whisper a chant and it goes round the circle like a whisper. Margot Martindale, at first when she's trying to make it out, goes, what? What?
Nah, that's really
funny.
They're all holding these brooms in a circle.
It's kind of cool.
It's cool looking, but again, I would be freaking out. But I didn't sign up for this, man. This is mental.
They do the exorcism of Nicole Kidman and it's so mad. She's like going to die or something here and it's all very confusing. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on either. Sandra Bullock starts freaking... Sorry, I keep on calling her Sandra Bullock. Sally starts freaking out a wee bit. She's like, no, you're going to kill her. Stop.
How do we know they're going to...
We don't... I don't know. Maybe it's one of those sister things where she can feel it through her wee hand cut.
All of the neighbourhood women are crying at this point as if they understand what's going on.
The audience watching the film doesn't know what's going on.
No, Aidan Quinn doesn't know what's going on.
No, so he doesn't know what's going on all the time. So she's freaking out. Nicole Kidman stands up and then she gets like knocked back down by some invisible force. Don't know what's going on here. Her sister Sally's freaking out. It looks like she's maybe dead or unconscious. There's a really good scene here where she lies down beside her.
I like that.
This is a good scene. This is quite an emotional scene. Again, Sandra Bullock being a good actress here. This would have been shit with somebody who wasn't talented enough, but they make it work.
Yeah, there's a version of this with Terry Hatcher, and it's not good.
Oh, aye, and Patsy Kensit.
Oh, aye, they dye her hair ginger. Sally says they're supposed to die together and gets them back into the circle.
While she's doing that, Jilly's begging her to die. She's like, just let him take me. And Sally's like, no, I'm not going to let him. Like, we're going to die together. You're not going to die today, sort of thing. But she's like begging her, just please let him kill me. That's kind of fucked up, man.
I kind of laugh when Sally coaxes this Jimmy spirit with a bottle of booze.
It's really funny. She goes and she gets his bottle of tequila beer. I don't know what it is. And she sits and starts drinking it. Like in front of him to sort of mock him. Is that what she's doing?
Does she put more of the belladonna in it? Do you remember?
No, I don't think she puts in it, but I think she's like shaking it as if like, remember this?
She does. She gives it the old, you want your baby boy?
You want your beer? Oh, come get it then.
He risks everything for a wee taste of this.
Aye, and so she reaches forward, quickly grabs her, has her aunties grab her by the back, slits her hand open again, cuts her own hand open, then there's another blood off. Don't get it, don't know what's going on, and then there's a big light that flashes. If I'm in this circle, I'm noping the fuck out of this room.
There's a version of this where Diane Wiest and Stockard Channing just stomp that fool, and it's amazing, man.
They just kick her to death.
Stockard Channing just kicks his fucking teeth out, man. How cool would that be?
That would have been cool, aye.
Would you know what I see Rizzo battling a ghost?
100%, that's a better movie. Rizzo versus a ghost. It's a ghost of Kaneki.
Grease : Rizzo versus a ghost. Just like any ghost.
It's like
the ghost of Rydell High.
It's like Rizzo driving the mystery machine, but she's just driving it by herself. Or it's her and the rest of the Pink Ladies, and they're going about Scooby-Doo style investigating crimes.
No,
but the Pink Ladies have all died.
It's her alone. They died in a drag racing incident, and it's just her and the ghosts of the Pink Ladies.
Love it.
And she actually has to go around solving shit, but she's just smoking and taking drugs and shit.
Aye, but like they're her other personalities and they're like talking to her. Like sort of guiding her through it.
I think that's good.
She's like
man.
a broken detective, but like the other pink ladies, the spirits of them are like, but like, no, you need to clean up your act and get this case.
Beauty school dropouts, just like this corpse, but she still makes herself pretty. This is a cool show.
I love this show.
Better than that pink ladies they made.
Aye, oh no, God, horrible.
Sally and Jelly Bean embrace, and their love is like too strong for Jimmy and all this madness, and I think it's love that wins. Is it love that wins? Does love win? Sister love? Would you do this for your sister? Would you do this for your sister?
I would let my sister die.
You wouldn't help your sister with an exorcism?
See, sorry. No, I mean like when she's getting choked.
Man, you taking off with Jimmy? You're like, I like the cut of this guy's gym.
I just keep driving.
Can I get a ring?
He's choking on the back, I'm just driving. I just turn the mirror around so I can't see.
And all you feel is your last breath in your neck, and you go,
It all goes quiet in the back seat. I'm like, everything alright, mate?
you don't, you just turn the radio up.
I'm like a taxi driver that picks up this couple that are fighting. I'm having a domestic in the back, and I'm like, oh, it's nothing to do with
There's
me.
your sister. She's like, remember we were babies together and we grew up together, and you're like,
You were an arsehole to me when I was young.
you don't say anything.
Remember that time you went into my memory card and deleted my saves?
Did you do that, man?
She done that to me. She was 6 years older than me, and
That's brutal.
I think I wound her up once. I think I was being a wee dick because I was the wee brother, and she went in and deleted my Metal Gear Solid save in my memory card. So he turns to ash in the middle of this circle. They're all holding brooms conveniently.
Yep.
Then they all use those brooms to sweep him out the house. Apparently that's part of the spell. Then sweep him into some sort of pot, then pour him onto the grass. But then they use this potion and they pour it over it. Do you see this?
Yeah.
And then it melts away all the ash, and
Badness.
also melts away the rose bush and all that. So whatever this potion is gets rid of the ashes.
So this is all over. They've got rid of the bad guy. They get a letter from Gary, and he says that the death was deemed accidental.
Terrible cop.
Oh, it's so bad.
I mean, he has been told in no uncertain terms, yes, we killed this man. He's got them red-handed. He's got a confession out of them, and he's just like, nah.
Accidental? How? Where's a body, bro?
You can't just rule it accidental, because if it's accidental, there must be an autopsy done to prove it's been accidental.
His car is on their property.
You can't just make this go away.
There'll be hotel footage and
I mean,
registrations.
I think Gary needs to call in a wolf for Pulp Fiction to fucking deal with this car.
Get it? Oh man, he got this disposed of.
It had to end up in some scrapyard or something, didn't it? Like, this has to disappear. Questions are going to be asked.
Stalker Channing probably knows that guy, man.
Oh, totally. 100%.
Sally blows a leaf into the wind, and Gary senses her in this moment.
Yeah.
Gary comes back to town for Sally, and she is clearly way more confident and witchy here. Her hair is also really pretty. They kiss pretty hard, and then we get the last scene of the movie, Rido.
Yeah, it's Halloween, I guess. Everybody's dressed up.
Call back from earlier, kind of cool.
Yeah, they're all standing in their garden. It's kind of cool to see that the community that hated them at the start of this movie are now all came together.
It's
They've
really
embraced
nice.
the witches.
And they're embracing this as a tradition now.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
And all the witches, like the family, so Nicole Kidman and Sandra Bullock and the two aunties and the two daughters are all standing on the roof dressed
They're
as
on the
witches.
roof, and it looks really good. The composition of images looks fantastic. It's totally fine. That big purple behind them looks totally fine, and that show looks totally fine. It's absolutely fine.
Not being more sarcastic.
Your wife
but-
loves this movie. She loves this ending. It's a great
You,
ending.
no, say what's on your mind, because
No,
I
the
can
purple
see your
looks-
face.
I love the purple. It's amazing, man. It's really good.
Okay.
And then,
Then
am I
they
right in
all-
saying they fly at this point?
They're all Mary Poppins off this roof. They've all got umbrellas, and they're why do they all fly down on brooms?
Fuck, man. She could have Mary Poppins to Michael and saved him. We're not talking about Michael anymore, man. He's
Oh,
dead.
he's long dead, man. She's way over him, man.
So we get this shot in the room.
He doesn't even get a funeral scene.
Oh, man, Jinky Goat one. that fan kept driving with him attached.
He's just on there like that
He's
bear,
alive.
that bear at the end of Toy Story 3.
Help me! Help me! I need to get back to
The guy driving the van is just using the window wipers to...
it just keeps hitting it.
So fuck off! It's not even raining.
Ryan, he's doing this.
He's just getting bitch slapped.
Help me! Practical Magic 1998, man. Rate this witch.
Am I going first?
Go for it.
Oh man, okay. I enjoyed this movie more than I thought I was going to. I was nervous because my wife does love this movie. She knows that it's flawed. Like, I did speak to her about it. She doesn't think this movie's perfect or even great, but she just likes it for what it is. She especially likes the sister relationship, which makes sense because she's very close to her sister. I am not as close to my sister. As previously mentioned, I'd let her get strangled. And I will say that the chemistry between the two main characters is excellent. I think that Nicole Kidman and Sandra Bullock are really good together. And it's like a good thing that they're in it, because I think lesser actors couldn't pull this material off as well. Just wish that they picked a lane and stuck to it. Either make this like a hocus pocus type Disney family film, or make it this really dark comedy that we spoke about. But for some reason we're stuck somewhere in the middle, and I don't think that this movie knows what it wants to be. Sometimes it's a happy wee family film, sometimes it's this really dark, sinister horror movie, but it kind of gets stuck somewhere in between. And I think that hurts the movie in the end. But put it this way, like, I would happily watch this movie again. It was fine. Like, if this come on next Halloween, I'd watch it over, like, I put this on over watching Forrest Gump again. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, good. There's good moments in it. Again, the two main actresses is good. The two aunties, I always slag Rizzo a lot, but she's really good in this. And even the two kids, the two daughters. As for ratings, I know we were joking about like saying like, oh, I need to give this a 5. But really, realistically, I think this is a pretty decent movie. I would give this a 3.5.
Okay.
5 coconuts.
Cool, man. Practical Magic 1998. On paper, you would think this is everything that I'm into. The cast list, the synopsis. This is a bunch of ingredients that I should really like. Something about it just doesn't really work for me. It's became a running joke between your wife and I.
Yeah.
She totally adores it, acknowledges what it is, but adores it. I have so many movies like that. Those are my favourite movies.
Howard the Duck.
Everyone's looking for a justification, and you can't explain it, and you don't want to, and neither should you. You just love it for a specific reason. And I think this will be amazing for a lot of sisters and women. Overall, there's a lot of messages in this I adore. I love films that I am not a part of. I love knowing there's cult status and reading everything about it and hearing what people think about it, even from the outside, because that's a whole collection of strangers who bond over some medium, and that's so nice. And what I'm trying to say is, even though this isn't for me, I think it's amazing it's took on such an incredible cult status. I like the characters a lot. I love the actors. We make fun of Rizzo. It is an age thing. Stockholm Channing rules. She is the best actor in Greece. Like
100%.
She has limited screen time, and she tells a story of what her life is and possibly could be. She's a great actor. Diane Wiest is amazing. Mm-hmm. Nicole Kidman and Sandra Bullock are two of my favourites. I've had a crush on both of them since I was a kid. You get older and realise both are incredible women as well, with massive talents, incredibly talented actors, and so versatile. Funny, dramatic, excellent. Something about it just doesn't gel for me as an entire piece. It takes off in too many different directions. It's like a loose hose that's just going all over the place.
That's a good way to put it, yeah.
I do wish it stuck to a specific path, but it's very competently made. There are really great moments in it. I would give this a 2.5 out of 5 coconuts.
Okay.
Cool, man. That was Halloween? What?
Halloween's done? That's crazy.
First Halloween.
Halloween is big for you? I know it's your favourite season. We're now moving into November, and then there'll be Christmas, man. A bunch of Christmas movies coming up too.
We have already scheduled. We've scheduled right up until New Year.
Yeah, and it's terrifying. A couple of big hitters coming up. A bunch of heavy hitters.
Some good movies coming up,
And
man.
some really not so good movies also.
Speaking of, it's a first timer for you next week, and
I have not seen this movie.
I am so excited.
I'm nervous. It's not that I've not had the opportunity. This movie's on every streaming platform. It's on the telly all the time. Whenever I see this, I just try to avoid it. But I can no longer run away. I need to just sit down,
Sink your teeth into it.
and sink my teeth into it. And with that being said, I suppose roll the trailer.
You're impossibly fast and strong. You gotta give me some answers.
I'd rather hear your theories.
I have considered radioactive spiders and kryptonite.
It's all superhero stuff, right? What if I'm not the hero? What if I'm the bad guy?
You know what you are. Your skin is pale white and ice cold. You don't go out into the sunlight.
Say it out loud. Say it.
Vampire.
Are you afraid?
No. This isn't real. This kind of stuff just doesn't exist.
It does in my world. I just want to try one thing. Don't know how long I've waited for you.
What is going on?
Security guard at the mill got killed by some kind of animal.
An animal.
My family, we're different from others of our kind. You brought a snack.
What, now he's coming after me?
The hunt is his obsession. He's never gonna stop.
I'd rather die than to stay away from you.
He's got unparalleled senses, absolutely lethal.
I'll do whatever it takes to make you safe again. You're faster than the others. But not stronger. I'm strong enough to kill you. You are my life now.